Hello, everybody. I'm Zangetsu by night, and this is Average Bloodstone Fan. And welcome, my children, to Remember the Hyphen by midnight. Okay, I don't have much more, because... But
Bro,
anybody...
you look like you're about to bust into fucking Werewolves of London.
Werewolf... So anyway, we're, Shit. God damn it. No. No, stop. God damn it. God damn you.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hyphen just called.
And I'm Zangetsu 134. And tonight we're...
Fuck!
How many times is Adam going to make that joke in an episode of Remember the Hyphen? We'll never know. Might be more than once, might be twice. I don't know. I come to be in the night.
I would have paid you to fucking grab a handful of cheese puffs and just fucking try.
Because they would get all over this fucking car. And you would be fucking spending years getting the fucking Cheeto dust out of the shit. So it's Halloween. Well, it's the month of spooky, but...
Ironically enough, when I bought those cheese puffs in my pop, I actually... Hold on. I have the receipt. So you can see my spooky total.
Was it 666?
Yes.
Yep. That's like when I went to Sheetz one day and I got my order and it was order 666. I was like, oh, shit.
When you accidentally summon the devil.
But it's the month of spooky, and Disney decided to grace us with a Marvel month of spooky special with Werewolf by Night. So for those of you who don't know, in the Marvel Universe, there is actually a group known as the Society of Monsters. And they are comprised of various monster characters that Marvel made at one point or another, trying to tie into horror monsters, such as Morbius the Living Vampire, Werewolf by Night, Giant-Sized Man-Thing, and yes, I will call him Giant-Sized Man-Thing pretty much every single time, or Ted. And basically, I feel like this is their way of trying to introduce the various monster characters that are in that. Hopefully we do so without turning the Punisher into a Frankenstein. Yes, that is a thing. And also,
what if they make him black? Like they did in the 90s?
I would like them not to do that one either.
That was really cringy.
I would rather they kill him and make him an angel. Which is also a thing that happened to the Punisher. Look it up.
Yeah, I'm not joking about that. That actually happened.
That also
it's really cringy.
At one point, I actually wouldn't mind us fighting those issues and just talking about how fucking
being like, what the fuck was this?
This movie, or well, special rather, also introduced one of my favorite characters from the Marvel Universe, one Elsa Bloodstone, who is also a member of the monster side of the Marvel Universe. Essentially, her and her family are the Bloodstones are a hereditary family that fight monsters. Think like the Belmonts from Castlevania. Only they, instead of having a magic whip, they have an item known as the Bloodstone, which weakens monsters of any kind, as well as giving the person who uses it immense strength to fight monsters, as well as a healing ability, and I want to say actually gives them extended lifespan. Either it lets them, they don't age as fast, or they just live a very, very long time. And so basically this movie was that. Or, I keep wanting to say movie, it's a special technically. I keep saying movie, I don't know why. Probably because this is shot like an old school Universal monster movie, which is, in my opinion, one of the key best parts of this film, or special. Especially because it even opens like an old Universal horror movie. It has like the copyright with the Roman numerals. And it is in completely black and white up until the very, very end.
It was actually shot on 35 millimeter.
Yeah, which is also super cool.
Man thing was an actual fucking prop.
No, that blew me away when
I found that picture. I was like, what?
I mean, I'm assuming they probably did some CG alongside the prop, like to make it more realistic looking, but it looks super great. Like, it looks straight out of the comic.
I would love to have that in my house. It's like, this is my giant-sized man thing.
Can you tell
His name is Ted.
You tell we're both huge children because we both giggle at the phrase giant-sized man thing.
It rolls off the tongue.
It also sounds like a penis. Also, if Man Thing gets a movie, they need to just call it Giant Size Man Thing.
I'd be like, I need the poster for that. I need all the merch.
So, as you can tell, I had a lot of fun watching this, but your thoughts before we...
I did too. Like I said, I started watching it at work and was really enjoying it. Then I went home and watched the rest of it while I was cooking a pizza.
Yeah.
And I was like, everybody in my house was asleep. It was just me at the kitchen island watching it. And, excuse me. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the aesthetic of it because I like those old Universal horror films, you know, like the Dracula and the Mummy and all that stuff. Which you could tell it really emulated a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I love everything about it. I love the way it was shot. Like it's very beautiful looking. It's very atmospheric. It's straight up there at points. It almost looks like something out of the 30s, which I'm sure is what they were going for.
No, it also reminded me a lot of Hellboy.
Yeah.
Like particularly with like the weapons and stuff they used throughout it. And also the guards that Elsa's mother had. Like I don't know why they really reminded me of like the guys that like work with the agency Hellboy works for. But I just really like that a lot. What are your thoughts on the design of Werewolf by Night?
It looked really, really good. I was kind of worried how they were going to do it. I mean, they had made Man Thing look really good, so I was like, they're going to pull this off. It's going to look good. And then I loved the build up to it.
Yeah.
Like, it was very much like a slow burn to get to that point. And then when we got it, it just went completely off the rails, basically.
Yeah. I also love the actress they got for Elsa. Like, she is pitch perfect how I would imagine Elsa. You know, she's British, she kicks ass, she don't take nobody's shit. Like, she's just really, really good in this. I actually kind of love that she was almost more of the focus than Werewolf by Night himself was. Because she's kind of the audience proxy, given the fact that she didn't want to follow in her father's footsteps. Which, if you ever read Next Wave Agents of Hate, where they parody her origin, it basically is like that. Think Laura Croft, if her dad decided to like throw her off a cliff to make her climb back up it.
Lara.
Or Lara.
No, that's a common thing. That's why I always correct people on it. It's Lara. There's no you.
That's fair. But no, she was great. What were your thoughts since this is like your introduction to Elsa?
Not really. I kind of know her through Tumblr and stuff. Yeah, okay. I had information prior to this.
Okay.
So I really liked her. I thought the actors knocked it out of the park.
No, I can't wait to see her in like some other Marvel stuff. Like I hope that she would show up in the Blade movie, since her and Blade do occasionally interact with each other.
When the Blade movie ever comes out.
Yeah, when it ever comes out.
These motherfuckers are ice skating uphill.
I actually really like the way they designed the Bloodstone. Like, I like that it was like a necklace, or like almost like a pen, like a crucifix, but like not. But no, a lot of the effects I was surprised were, I'm pretty sure, just props, not just Man Thing.
A lot of the behind the scenes stuff I saw straight up looked like they didn't. They obviously use CG with stuff, but it looks like a lot of times they actually went for practical shots.
Which, I mean, given the fact they wanted to make this look like a classic horror film, I think was the best way to go.
Yeah.
Granted, Werewolf by Night was almost entirely CG for the most part. But granted, he had to, like, run on walls and, like, do, like,
There's no way to do that practically.
Yeah, there's no way to do that practically.
And have it look really, really good.
Yeah. But he was really fun. Like you said, the build-up to him was phenomenal. Like, because for the record, he doesn't turn into the werewolf until like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, like 10 or 8 minutes of it.
Yeah, and
there was a surprising amount of gore in there.
Yeah, like
somebody getting like a sword through the head. I was like, can you really get away with that much because it's black and white?
Apparently you can. Like, one dude got his hand chopped off.
Because it was like TV-14. I was like,
yeah.
You can just get away with this by just making it black and white?
No, that one dude got like an arrow through his throat, and Elsa like held him as he like died. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, apparently you can just get away with shit if it's black and white. Probably because you can't see the color of the blood. Yeah. So
I mean, there's a part where literally the Bloodstone's butler reanimates the corpse by winding it like a monk,
one thing I really liked was that for a lot of this, although it was black and white, the Bloodstone was red.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked that.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was a very nice touch, and it kind of just fit like the whole motif that the whole special was going for.
Now, I also like when Elsa finally gets the Bloodstone, because that's the whole reason she's there. The color comes back in. Also, the fact that, like, Man-Thing, when they go into the color, he still looks really good. Like, I was kind of worried that he might look...
They were, like, the 2005 movie?
Yeah, I thought he would look kind of hokey, but no.
He looks good.
He looks amazing even in color.
The VFX people actually worked their ass off on that one.
No, But then, like, I was super excited, like, when you told me Man-Thing was in it, because I was like, oh, holy shit, we're going to be doing some monster stuff.
I remember I said it to you, and I was like, bro, Man-Thing's in this.
I mean, if we're doing him, I hope we can do something like Devil Dinosaur at some point. Like, because I love Devil Dinosaur.
Listen, it all leads up to the Howard the Duck appearance, because he first showed up in Giant Size
No,
Man-Thing, Journey Through Fear.
No,
we're getting closer to getting Howard.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Like...
It's going to be our latest thing, and then we're finally going to get Howard. I'm just going to be like, I'm speechless.
That's a duck, man. That's a duck. But no, like I said, like I really liked it. Also really liked that I think most of this was just shot on a soundstage. Like, I actually really like the way the garden that they fight Ted in, and with all the... Like, I like that they clearly wanted to make it feel like it was, like, a soundstage, and, like...
Yeah.
That, it had this fakeness to it that, like, you know, some horror movies had back then, because clearly everything was shot on a soundstage.
Yeah.
But I think it works, because, again, they are really sticking to that classic horror movie feel. You know, like, which I think, again, worked really well in its favor. Because, like... Honestly, they could just take this and make it an attraction at Disney World every Halloween. Just have
they have a new thing at I believe Disney World, and Man-Thing's actually in it.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's actually really cool.
Like it's like a big mural on the wall. I think it's them fighting Kang. I'm like, are we gonna get Man-Thing in fucking Secret Wars? He's just gonna show up, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck?
I also love when Man-Thing leaves. He leaves like how I imagine a fucking Bigfoot leaves when you fucking catch it, where it's like,
yeah.
I don't know why. I just imagine when horror monsters run, like they do that like weird bounding thing that like, you always see like the Bigfoots do in pictures. But I also really love how, despite Man-Thing being a giant monster, they made him oddly cute. Like, he had these big, sad puppy dog eyes.
Yeah.
That really, really sold to you that this poor thing just got captured because he can't help but, like, wander off from the Monster Society island that they all live on. But, yeah, like, like he said, it was just really fun. I would love to see that, like I would love to see that, like, for them to like every Halloween make this an attraction where you can like roam through the Bloodstone estate. They could do that with the Haunted Mansion. Have like all the weird monster stuff. Have Man-Thing show up at one point. You'll have Werewolf by Night stalking around. But like it's okay because like you've got a fragment of the Bloodstone in the cart, so you can't get hurt. But yeah, I really liked it. I like the themes of the fact that like Werewolf by Night like apparently does hunt monsters on his own terms. But I like the whole idea that like him and Elsa are both tied to this idea of like you like sometimes you know you can't pick the family you have, but sometimes you have to stick up for the ones that you care about. Because Ted's like there just because he wants to rescue Man-Thing, despite the fact that he keeps constantly getting him in trouble. All right, I'm going to help you, but this is the last time. Which clearly is not going to be the last time. And just like how it like really ties into the theme where Elsa kind of hates her family, and I think justifiably so, considering they basically tortured her by trying to train her to be the next in line of the Bloodstone. At the same time, like, she also wants the Bloodstone because she thinks her family doesn't deserve it. But like I really felt that they did a very good job of tying the themes up and stuff.
You know what that final battle needs an edit of on YouTube? Werewolf by Night when the Doom music kicks in.
Actually, Low-key, I would actually...
Has somebody made that yet?
I don't think somebody's made that yet, but low-key, that would be amazing. Also, what do you think of, like, her mom in this? Her mom was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like...
That scene with the fucking explosive on the wall gave me fucking
oh my god,
anxiety.
no.
It gave me anxiety.
After a while, I was like, dude, just stick it in the crack. Just stick it in the crack and duck.
I bet you say that to all the werewolves.
No, like, you know, I also love the, like, at the end when, like Ted is just, like...
He has coffee.
Yeah, he's got... thanks, mate. Like, the poor werewolf by night's all, like, fucked up and covered in a blanket because he shredded all his clothes. I love that Ted just waited with him until he turned. Because he can't kill Man-Thing, because Man-Thing is actually, like, immortal, from what I understand. Like, because he's basically just a giant...
Unlike Swamp Thing's TV show.
Yeah. Which...
Too soon?
Which, for the record, can I talk about Man-Thing and how... So... Man-Thing was straight up created. It was one of those many things where Marvel and DC kind of just rip each other off because they wanted to compete with each other like that. Or like DC would create something so Marvel would try to make something similar.
I want to actually say Man-Thing came first.
Maybe Man-Thing did come first. I cannot remember.
Here, I can look it up real quick.
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Swamp Thing would come first just because he's more based on the creature of the Black Lagoon, whereas like Man-Thing, I want to say isn't really a plant creature. He's more of a monster guardian, because I know he usually chills around like the Florida Everglades. Because I know there's a...
Man-Thing appeared in May 1971. Swamp Thing appeared in July 1971.
Oh, okay. Well, I was...
The same fucking... Let me make sure I had that correct. Yeah. Swamp Thing, July 1971. Man-Thing, May 1971.
Okay, wow. Oh, well, to be fair, can you blame me given the Man-Thing's name? Like, you would think he is the...
Yeah.
But, okay, fair enough. I got that wrong. I'm big enough man to admit that. But, like, because I know Man-Thing, there's a story where, like, Peter goes to get Dr. Connors because he's turned to the lizard for the 500th fucking time.
That's how I get Man-Thing.
Yeah, and they run into Man-Thing because he's, like, hiding in the Florida Everglades for some reason. I want to say because that's
he was
like
on vacation.
Well, then I want to say it's one of the few places where no one's going to fucking bother him. Because what? You going to go in the Everglades? There's fucking crocodiles in there.
Yeah.
Or alligators, rather.
I mean, Grant, James Bond would just run across them motherfuckers, so...
In alligator shoes, no less. Like he was tempting fucking fate. Which, okay, one more aside. There's actually a shitty comic where I think it's called Gen 13, and one of the girls runs across the alligators, but...
I've seen it.
Yeah, and she's like, how come this doesn't happen to Sean or to Roger Moore? And I'm like,
really?
Really? You're gonna make a Bond reference into one of the Moore ones? I mean, at least you did one of Moore's better ones.
Yeah.
You didn't make a reference to Moonraker.
Hey, so would you like to see Man-Thing show up in further Marvel projects?
Oh, yeah,
I'm totally down for it. I just want him to just show up and he'd just like be there and they're like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's Ted. Like, have Elsa show up, be like, oh, don't worry, guys, that's Ted. Well, especially because, like,
we can bring Howard in, and he can be like, you and I should hang out sometime.
Well, that too, but, like, because I feel like maybe that means we'll set up some of the other monsters, seeing as how we've gotten Werewolf by Night and Man-Thing. We could do, well, we can't do Morbius for obvious reasons. Although...
I wish we're not going to bring Letta back.
Well,
please, no.
Well, to be fair, the only reason Morbius is a part of the Monster Society is I want to say it's kind of tenuous whether or not they can use Dracula.
I just thought one. Okay, that fucking scene of Matt Smith dancing, but it's fucking Man-Thing.
Okay, no, okay. I see why that is quite funny, actually. That actually would be pretty. That actually would be.
Somebody
really
draw that, please. I want to see that so bad.
You just have that, then you have Ted, or you have a Werewolf by Night and Elsa just sitting there like, the fuck is he doing? You know, I've known him for years, and I gotta admit, this is new.
This is a new one for me.
This is a new one for me.
Make that a post-credit Marvel, I dare you.
Then Ted sees them and freaks out, then runs through the wall. No, Ted, come back. We didn't mean... there goes my wall. It's like that one comic pop joke where, like, everyone tries to tell Kitty that Colossus cheated on her during Secret Wars. What's that? Professor X is calling me.
Oh no, Chuck, this is some real Professor X is a jerk vibes I'm getting here.
But no, like, just to be fair, the only reason Morbius is tied to them is, again, because, like,
Spider-Man.
Well, no, with the Monster Society, they couldn't use Dracula because technically Dracula's owned by, I want to say, Universal.
No, it's owned by the Bram Stoker.
Or Bram Stoker.
Estate.
Either way, my point being that, you know, Dracula, you kind of can't use unless you have permission. So they go with Morbius because they own him.
It's weird because Tomb of Dracula.
What's it?
Tomb of Dracula, which is kind of weird.
Well, that was back in the 70s, and Marvel and DC didn't care about copywriting at the time.
Nobody gave a shit about
Nobody gave a shit about copyright back in the 70s.
It's great. Isn't that stuff public domain now anyway?
Possibly. At some point, I would love for us to sit down and talk about Dracula Sovereign of the Damned, a.k.a. the movie where Dracula eats a cheeseburger.
No, I'm fucking stopping that shit. Moving on. Anyway, let's move on to ratings. I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. My only complaint, I wanted more Man-Thing. It wasn't long enough. I needed more. I needed more of my giant-sized Man-Thing.
No, that's fair. Because I can never get enough of a giant-sized Man-Thing.
We're just gonna call this giant-sized Hyphen review. I'll name it that. I don't give a shit. I'll do it.
You know what?
I'm gonna do it. That sounds funny as fuck. I'll make a thumbnail that just says that giant-sized Hyphen thing.
Do it in shitty MS Paint.
I can try. But
Just a background. It says it.
I'll Photoshop it and just invert the colors.
I'll leave that up to your discretion. I trust your judgment. I said, you know, like a liar. I would also give this a 9 out of 10. This was really fun, and I would actually like them to do some of the other monster characters. My only real complaint is I really wish we could have got Moon Knight in here, because Werewolf by Night actually...
Dracula owed me that money.
Well, that and Moonlight...
Moonlight?
Well, no.
You said Moonlight? Moonlight?
Moon Knight.
He's moonlighting as a fucking Dracula hunter.
Well, no, because Moon Knight originally was created to fight werewolves, and Werewolf by Night debuted in a Moon Knight comic. Or Moon Knight guest starred in Werewolf by Night. I forget exactly, but it would have been cool, but unfortunately, Moon Knight's actor, whose name escapes, Oscar Isaac,
didn't sign that.
Didn't sign a contract.
He didn't do the big overarching Marvel contract.
So like, it's very up in the air.
Granted, he got fucked over by Disney on Star Wars, so I'm not too surprised.
Yeah, but it's kind of a shame because Moon Knight was so good, and I would actually like to see Moon Knight and other things. But no, joking aside, I really, really like this. If you haven't watched it yet, why the fuck haven't you?
Get on it like now. Turn this off, go watch it. How'd you get this far into the video?
Like, it is a really great send-up to classic horror. The only way they could have made it better is if, you know, they had Nosferatu in the background, flicking the light switch on and off. But like, it's reasonably short, and it does the pacing's really good, so it'll go by really quick. The effects are phenomenal. Like, even if they are using old school effects, showing once again that if you can do it practical, you should. But overall, it was just so good. Like, it was a fun, entertaining special, and I hope they do more of these. Like, even if they're different stuff. Like, I would love to see them do some of the other monsters. Maybe do Ghost Rider like this, in this sort of way. You know, maybe make it like it's like a 50s like road racing movie, and
like the Wild One.
Yeah, like the Wild Ones. You know, have it like that, and he turns into the Ghost Rider, fighting demons and shit. I would love to see.
If we can get Nick Cage back in some fashion.
Hell, this would be a great way to do the Power Pack. Have like an hour special where it like.
Bro, they ain't gonna do the Power Pack.
They could.
Come on now, they're not gonna do that.
They could. They could do Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur like this. I would actually love them doing it like that. I can't think of anything else, but like, I think there's a lot of potential in them doing specials like this, so they don't feel comfortable doing like.
Well, from what I remember, they want to do that for the X-Men characters they're going to introduce in the movie. They want to do a special on each X-Men character.
I don't know about that. There's some characters I don't know if like you could do a whole special for them.
Wolverine, that's fucking easy as shit.
Wolverine, honestly,
that's
but
easy as shit.
I don't know if
be
like
a whole fucking episode of him just beating people up in a bar while trying to drink.
Like, I don't know if like you could do like a whole episode with like Cyclops and Jean just because they're so tied to Professor Xavier. Like, I feel like that would be better in the movie, but
Marvel, I don't give a shit. I'm doing it this way.
I would still watch them, and they probably would be good. It's just I don't know if like you really need to do a whole special with those two because they're the leaders of the X-Men.
Motherfucker, I need my Jean Grey content. Don't be telling me what I can and can't have.
I'm just saying, like doing them as a
really in front of my giant-sized man thing.
I'm just saying that like because of the fact that they're being the leaders of the X-Men, they're going to be a huge focus of the film anyway, so it feels like it would be redundant to do them and then do the movie is more my...
No, that's fair.
But if they were to do it, I'm not going to say I wouldn't watch them anyways. Although Magneto's one would be pretty fucking rough, all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to watch him ripping that gate at Auschwitz again.
But anyway, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Again, if you haven't seen Werewolf by Night, go fucking watch it right now. It's streaming on Disney+. Or you can pirate it. I mean, I'm not going to judge how the fuck you watch it. Just watch it.
I watch Kamen Rider. I can't judge. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode.
We hope you're enjoying our horror movie about Doug so far.
Yeah, more to come on that. Hence why we have the werewolf mask, actually. And hopefully we'll have some more Halloween stuff as long as neither of us gets super sick again. But until then, guys, I'm Zongetsu134.
And I'm Average Joe Squad.
And as always,
we ask you
to remember the hyphen.
And take care.
Oh.